Beautiful people, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'll be talking about my top scariest movies of all time. So if you're interested, stay tuned. These aren't the scariest movies, I'm pretty sure, out there, but these are the scariest movies that I could remember that scared me as a child or a young teenager. I think even an adult. I don't scary movies anymore, so I don't know, it really truly does scare me. So I just kind of stay away from it. But when I was younger, I was really into scary movies. So let's get into the movies. Okay, so my number one movie that scared me as a young child, I was 5 years old when I saw this movie. The movie's called Jeepers Creepers, okay? The original, the first one, okay, came out 2001, and it was a mystery and thriller movie, okay? And I was 5 when I saw this. I don't know what made me want to see this movie, but yeah, I watched it and I was scared, okay? So it stars a brother and sister who discover that their routine road trip home from college ends up being a disaster and turns into a heart-stopping chase for their life, okay? They end up, so what I could remember from the movie, they end up driving, right? They're driving, I guess, back home from college, and all of a sudden this big rusty truck comes behind them and is like honking, and they're getting upset. They're like, what's up? Like, the person's getting real close, it just gets very intense right away. And yeah, that movie was just terrifying because I was so young, but even thinking now, like, that was one of those movies that, like, whoever created that creature knew that it was gonna be something that was gonna be unmatchable, because I haven't seen, till this day, I haven't seen like a creature that looks like that before. And whenever you saw Jeepers Creepers, he said nothing. He was silent, but then he would do weird things with his mouth, or like, I don't know, you know what I mean? Like, he would give you signs that he would want to eat this type of body. If I watched the movie now, it wouldn't scare me. I would laugh, actually, because it's such an old movie and you could tell, that it's old. So I know recently I watched Jeepers Creepers 3 and I was like, this is a joke. Like, really, this is a joke. So yeah, movie number 2. So movie number 2 is Wrong Turn. Now, if you don't know about Wrong Turn, it came out in 2003. It is a slasher and a thriller movie. So it's a slasher and thriller movie. I've never even heard of a slasher movie, so I don't even know what that's about. But I was 10 years old when I watched this movie, and this movie gave me nightmares. I have no idea, but there was this one part I remember watching and I freaked out. I jumped so hard in this movie. That's what gave me nightmares, like, it was just so scary. So this movie is about a group of friends who are traveling, but somehow something happens to their car breaks down, like the mountains in the woods. So they go on this trip, And then their car breaks down and they find out that people are stalking them, cannibals, you know? And it's just crazy because in the movie, like, you can tell that they're not clever. Like, the cannibals are not clever. Like, they're not smart. So the only way for, the teenagers or young adults, the people in the movie that are running from them, the only way that they can get away from them is if they outsmart them. But the thing is that those cannibals know the woods like the back of their hand. Like, they live there. Though the people that were traveling, the friends that were traveling, don't know nothing about those woods. So the cannibals already set up traps. They already know what's up, and you have to outsmart them. So you have to outsmart them, but at the end of the day, like, they know the woods. Ways. Movie number 3, okay? This movie made me not want to watch any more scary movies. And it is The Conjuring, the first Conjuring movie, okay? Now, that movie came out in 2013, okay? And it's a supernatural movie and a horror movie. Well, it's a supernatural horror movie / mystery film, okay? And the movie is taking place in the 1970s, okay? It stars a couple who are paranormal investigators and demonologists, okay? And they receive a case from a family of 7 and who have recently moved in a farmhouse, okay? And in that farmhouse, they notice supernatural things happening, okay? And the spirit is making itself known and present. And when it first began, it was just like small things, you know what I mean? Like, opening the door or like noises in the basement and stuff like that. But then after a while, once the investigators got involved, it started getting real bad, and it was horrible. And another thing is, I believe in spiritual, like, beings and stuff, like demons and evil spirits and stuff like that. Like, I believe that stuff is very possible. So that's why I get so freaked out about these movies. I'm like, like, I am not playing, okay? I'm not playing with this type of stuff. I remember one specific part in the movie where the wife investigator, she goes downstairs in the basement and, she's checking it out and all of that. And then all of a sudden she turns around and and then all of a sudden you see like this scary, like, nun or older woman with like this dark makeup and all this. I was like, I'm done. I'm done. That freaked me out. I really hate those, like, movies where someone turns around and then something like is right in their face. I hate that. Okay, so movie number 4, Insidious 2. No, not Insidious 1, Insidious 2, okay? Now, this film came out in 2013 and it's a thriller / mystery film, okay? So soon after the showdown happened with the son in chapter 1 getting possessed, in chapter 2, the family thinks that everything's done, that they're trying to get their life back together after that incident happened in Insidious 1. But all of a sudden, the father, the husband, gets possessed. And the only way that they can help him to get unpossessed is to investigate the past of the family so that they could help the future of the family. So it's okay. So chapter 2, like chapter 1 didn't really go into the history of what was really going on with that family. But chapter 2 goes into the history, and I can't quite remember what was going on, but it has to do with the history of that family and why they're getting possessed and what for, you know? So the movie, it was just the entire movie wasn't scary, but there was just certain parts that were scary. Like I remember one part. There was a couple parts, but I remember one part where I think someone was sleeping, and then all of a sudden there's like a rocking chair, and the rocking chair is moving, and then all of a sudden someone appears in the rocking chair. I'm like, nah, I'm done. I'm out. I'm out. Like, no, I'm over it. Okay. Now, number 5 is another older movie, and it was scary then. I'm pretty sure if I watched it now, it wouldn't be as scary. But number 5, the final scary movie of my all-time scary movies, is 13 Ghosts. Okay, so this is a 2001 movie. Okay. And it's a thriller / mystery film. This is about a family that inherits a spectacular home from their uncle, okay? And the house has a mind of its own. It has its own vendetta, okay? And the family, they get trapped in their new home and they encounter 13 entities, okay? That's where you get 13 ghosts. So they encounter 13 entities that have some type of vengeance, okay? And they threaten to annihilate the family or anyone that passes through their path. But like, it's weird because that house was so like nice. It was so nice. And then all of a sudden the house started turning into something different. Like the walls would shift, and then you would see like a ghost, and it'd be weird though, because it would almost be like people maybe that have died in the house, and I think maybe they left behind before they died or something. It's almost like they turned into it. Like, I don't know. It was just very weird. It was just very, very weird. It was just scary. And I was a young child. So that just freaked me out. Just seeing all that crazy stuff. And I don't know. It was just crazy. You enjoyed this video. Please, please, please let me know in the comments below if you've seen any of these movies that I've mentioned, okay? And if you like them, if they also scared you as well, okay? And let me know what are your most favorite or most scariest movies of all time. Until next time, guys. Bye.